I decide whether I am happy or unhappy. If you decided whether you are happy or unhappy, would you keep yourself happy or unhappy? If you let something or somebody decide, then you being happy is a remote case. I've kept certain privileges to myself. That is, being happy, unhappy, being loving or hateful, being this way or that way, or what happens within me, whatever. I have not given those privileges to anybody, I kept it to myself. In the middle of nowhere, I'm saying, this cosmos, where it begins, where it ends, nobody knows. In the middle of nowhere, this tiny circle of 14 planets spinning around one little star. When you're angry, you're actually poisoning your system, you know. We have always known this, but today chemical tests clearly show you that you're actually poisoning your system. So if your mind is not taking instructions from you, you have to pay a little more attention to it. Why is it not taking instructions from you? If outside situations are bad, you're also bad. That is not how human life should be. Human life should be like this. If I am good, everything around me becomes good. This should be the reality, isn't it? Human consciousness should create situations. Right now, situations are creating human consciousness. That's not the right way to shape human life.
You have become a willing life. You have become so willing that you have no will of your own. What happens around us is not 100% ours, but what happens within me must be my making, isn't it? If you think what you're doing is very significant, you learn to work with all kinds of people. You will see horrible people will do wonderful things. Yes?
Yes, yes.
But if you want to work with ideal people, you won't find any.
As humans, we live in a community, in a society. Given that, you have to interact with a lot of people. At the same time, all the people around the world are dealing with something. There are problems related to profession, marriage, children, and so on. These are one of the reasons why there are negative remarks from other people. But how to keep going in life by not getting bothered? A questioner asks an interesting question. Sadhguru has some answers. Check this out.
From Lucknow, and my humble salutations to you. My question is, what is your message to those who believe in running down the power of faith, values and the basic ethos of India?
I thought I just ran them down myself.
Yes. No, there's a basic ethos of faith and value, so is it right to run them down? And what do you have to say to such people? And the second question, if you choose to answer, is what makes you happy and what makes you sad? Thank you.
Let me answer your second question first. I've kept certain privileges to myself. That is, being happy, unhappy, being loving or hateful, being this way or that way, or what happens within me, whatever. I have not given those privileges to anybody, I kept it to myself. I decide whether I am happy or unhappy. If you decided whether you are happy or unhappy, would you keep yourself happy or unhappy? If you let something or somebody decide, then you being happy is a remote case. What we know of this existence, of this creation, is just a minuscule, isn't it? Our knowledge about this cosmos is a speck, isn't it so? So if you identify with your knowledge, religious or otherwise, you will become a speck. This is why in the yogic culture, we always identify with our ignorance, because our ignorance is boundless. Yes? And if you see, to know that I do not know is a wonderful thing, because the possibility of knowing arises in your life. Only if you see I do not know, the longing to know, the seeking to know and the possibility of knowing becomes a reality in your life.
In another talk, during a conversation with an Iranian-American author, Angela Nazarian. Sadhguru answers the question of how not to get bothered and angry by the people around you. Have a look.
Visionary Women is a volunteer-run organization, and I know that every single person who is here is giving their time to one organization or another. And the fact that you have 9 million volunteers, and you were talking about the relationship between volunteerism and willingness, and that it's through willingness that you uplift your consciousness, if I'm quoting you correctly, or I'm understanding it. In some ways talking about how it could be a doorway to becoming a bigger person than who you are.
See, before we come to women, first thing is visionary. Desire is about me always. Vision is an all-inclusive process. So, this itself is a phenomenal thing. If people, instead of having desires, if they have a vision, vision is always all-inclusive. Desire is personal. Desire leads to incremental changes and improvements. Vision can transform the whole situation. What a vision means is, say everybody has desires. Desire is an incremental way of enhancing our life. Today you desire, I must have a home, tomorrow you desire, I must have this money, tomorrow you desire something else. These are incremental ways of arranging and rearranging our lives, which are needed to do a few things. When you say, I'm a visionary, what you're saying is, I have a larger desire, which is not about just incremental improvement of my life. We have already taken on attitudes, what we like and what we don't like. I like this person, I don't like this person. Now with this person I will do things willingly, with this person I'll do things unwillingly. This may be two people, two aspects of life, two communities, two nations, two many things. This I will do willingly, this I do unwillingly. This means I've decided in my mind, this is good, this is bad. When I hear even on national news channels, good guys and bad guys, it just… once you have this kind of thing, you are going to be disastrous to the planet, it's just a question of time. Because I've spoken to conscripted people also, I've spoken in the prisons, I've spoken in many places. So you're here willingly. You're doing something willingly is the fundamental of your joy, isn't it so? Hello? However simple or stupid or idiotic activity it is, I'm doing something willingly, makes a world of difference, isn't it so? Hello? Yes. The difference between heaven and hell is just this. You're doing something willingly, that's your heaven. You're doing something unwillingly, that's your hell. There are joyful people and miserable people, but there are no good people and bad people.
That's big.
The moment we think we are good, we are entitled to destroy the bad, isn't it? Oh, we've been destroying a lot of people for a long time. Time to stop that because human beings are in different levels of experience and understanding, variety of people. Anybody who is not like you is obviously bad, isn't it? Isn't it so? Those who are not like me must be bad people. Because the basis of goodness and what you think is goodness is decided by you. No, you have no business to do that. The moment you decide, this is a good person, this is a bad person, this has gone deep into American society. No, there are no good people and bad people. Everybody is oscillating between the two. If you create a very pleasant, wonderful atmosphere, everybody behaves wonderfully. If you create an unpleasant atmosphere, a whole lot of people act nasty. Yes or no? You have become so willing that you have no will of your own. People ask me, Sadhguru, how do you operate with all these people? All kinds of horrible questions they're asking, they're doing this, they're doing that. I said, my life is not about them, it's about me. It's about how I am. It's about me. It doesn't matter how they are, that's their choice. But how I am is my choice, this is my way. No matter what they do, I'm like this. Because I have not given that freedom to anybody that somebody can freak me, somebody can make me angry, somebody can make me happy, somebody can make me unhappy. These privileges I kept to myself. It's time you do that too. Because if somebody else can decide what can happen within you right now, isn't this the ultimate slavery? Someone else can decide what should happen within you. What happens around you, of course, so many people decide. What happens around us is not 100% ours. But what happens within me must be my making, isn't it? Right now, just about anybody can freak anybody because they're not volunteers, they're unwilling. Volunteering means you have no will of your own, you can do whatever is needed. So people keep coming up to me on a daily basis, Sadhguru, I can't work with this person, she's so horrible, I can't do it. I tell them, see, in this world, this is the sort of people who exist, like this, like this, like this, like this is the kind of people there are. But if you want to work with ideal people, you must go to heaven. And today.
Today.
But if you think what you're doing is very significant, you must learn to work with all these horrible people. If you think what you're doing is very significant, you learn to work with all kinds of people. You will see horrible people will do wonderful things. Yes?
Yes, yes.
But if you want to work with ideal people, you won't find any. I haven't found one yet. There are all kinds of mixed bags.
Yes.
But if you are willing that you are not yes and no, yes to one, no to another, you're simply one big yes, you will find a way.
Thank you so much. That I always say that it's the resistance to life.
When you get angry with other people, it is not actually the loss or damage to any other person but to yourself. Sadhguru has some words on the specific matter. Let's hear what he says.
Swamiji, can you explain what is life? How can we avoid angry?
Today, medical science proves to you, when you're angry, you're actually poisoning your system, you know. We have always known this, but today chemical tests clearly show you that you're actually poisoning your system, generating poison in the system by being angry. So, why would you want to poison yourself? It is not a conscious act. You're poisoning yourself, you're causing unpleasantness to yourself only because your mind is not taking instructions from you. But now when you want to be peaceful, it is getting angry because it is not taking instructions from you. So if your mind is not taking instructions from you, you have to pay a little more attention to it. Why is it not taking instructions from you? If you understand this, you don't have to avoid anger, because anger is not sitting there and getting at you. You are becoming angry, you are becoming unhappy, you are becoming miserable. If you're driving in the Coimbatore street, you have to avoid the medians which are placed in odd places. You have to avoid bad drivers. You have to avoid drunken men crossing the street, children crossing the street, all kinds of things. But when you're driving in Coimbatore street, do you have to avoid the moon? I'm asking, do you have to avoid the moon? No, because the moon is not on the street, isn't it? So similarly, right now are you angry? No? then why should you avoid it? There's no need to avoid it. It is just that you think anger is an entity. Anger is not an entity. You become angry. You become angry. Anger is not sitting somewhere and you go hit it. There is no such thing. You become angry. When you become angry, is it pleasant for you or unpleasant for you? Unpleasant for you. Unpleasant for others for sure, unpleasant for yourself also. These things are happening to you essentially because you have not done anything to take your faculties under your control. It is happening accidentally, just by chance. If outside situations are good, you are also good. If outside situations are bad, you're also bad. That is not how human life should be. Human life should be like this. If I am good, everything around me becomes good. This should be the reality, isn't it? Right now, if things around me are whichever way, I will become that way. No. Human consciousness should create situations. Right now, situations are creating human consciousness. That's not the right way to shape human life.
How do you handle anger and negative opinions? We are waiting to hear about your experiences. If you liked the video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. What other topics from Sadhguru would you like us to cover? Tell us in the comments section. For more videos, click the video shown on the screen right now, and we'll see you there. Thanks for watching.